Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to talk about past trauma. I want to talk about making it past the past. When you've made it. You know, it's interesting when we think about trauma. These horrible events that happen to us, that we go through, that we suffer through, that we endure. The most fucked up shit that you can think of, that's our trauma. We all have it. I don't judge other people's trauma. Some people, petty motherfuckers, they like to compare. Instead of just acknowledging that you went through something that was really hard for you, they are like, well, that's nothing. Let me tell you what I went through. How you deal with your trauma is, it's an individual battle. So I may be weaker than you or stronger than you. One of the things that is important to understand when we go through trauma, when we go through a threat, because trauma is, when you boil it down to, even if it's just abuse, it could be bullets flying past you, it could be horrible watching murders and decapitations, but it could also just be a bad relationship. There's all kinds of forms of trauma. It boils down to feeling like we're threatened. Your life is being threatened, whether literally or metaphorically. And when we get past a shocking event, a terrible event, it's defined by that realization that you're safe now. And if you don't have that realization of being safe, of it being over, now it's over, I'm out of danger. If you don't have that sensation, then you're stuck on that past trauma, and that's what PTSD is. That's what post-traumatic stress is all about. You stay stuck. Part of you stays stuck in the trauma, and you don't get past it. I've been through so many shootings. Luckily, I haven't been through one in a long time, knock on wood, wherever it is. But I've been through a lot of shootings, and it's an interesting experience when bullets are flying around you, and you might get hit with one, and people are dying. And I've learned to stay somewhat calm in those situations. At first it's shocking and your heart gets racing and you feel like an animal. You go through it enough and you can learn, not everybody, but you can learn how to be calm. But even still, I noticed many times after a shooting that for like a week or two, I'd be paranoid as fuck. I mean, to a point where, I mean, it would be even annoying to me. I'm sure it'd be annoying to people around me. But I'd be like on super high alert. And eventually I would kind of snap out of it. But that was that emotional battle, that struggle of trying to realize that the threat is over. We need to realize that the threat is over. And that's how you get past your trauma. It's a beautiful realization, and sometimes this can happen out of nowhere. It can just happen when you're watching TV, when you're walking along the beach. When you never know when it can happen. You can just be thinking about something and have a realization. This happened to me. I've had so many threats from the past. And one day I realized, wow, the threat is over. And it's just this big sigh of relief. And you feel safer, you feel more comfortable, you feel your old self again. I can be who I used to be. My happy-go-lucky normal self. And not always in this defensive battle mode. This reaction mode. And this warrior mode of trying to make sure that you do the right threat assessment so you can make the right offensive plan, make the right movements. You can relax, but you have to realize that the threat is over in order to be able to relax. You have to be able to tell yourself, I made it, and believe it. You know, we've all had bad years. You get through a bad year, and you feel it kind of gradually getting better. Maybe your finances are better this year, and certain things are better than last year. You got through a bad year last year, and it's a little bit better this year. And the way that you realize that is because you start to feel like the threat is over, that you made it. Like a journey. Trauma, going through trauma is linear. And if you don't have that calmness in your heart over past trauma when you think about it, if it still fucks with you, then you're still in it. You haven't gotten over it. You didn't move past it. You didn't make it. You're still back there. It's a good feeling when you get past a bad year to a good year. When you get past a hard life to a good part of your life. I had that happen to me. I mean, I could go on and on. You can watch my videos, but I talk about my personal story in many of them, and I live a good life now. And some of the times that I realize that I've made it is when I'm paying my bills. I never used to have big bills like this when I was homeless. I don't get angry at them. I thank them. I'm thankful for these bills. I have a pool. When I swim around in my pool, I like to do laps every day during the summer. And I feel thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm just like, wow, I mean, it's over. The struggle, I had so much struggle. I know what it's like to eat out of dumpsters, to sleep in bushes. It's over. I made it. That feeling is linear. It's like a point A to point B. You know what it's like to make it through a bad month. You just have a fucking rotten month. Really beats you down, a lot of fucked up shit happens, but you make it through. And it starts to get better the next month, and you start to get back on top of things, and you know that, okay, everything's gonna be all right, and the horrors of last month fade away because you made it. It's important to understand that feeling of making it, of what it's like to make it, to feel like that, to feel that experience, that calmness, that release, that anybody who's been on a long hike and finally gets to their destination knows what that's like. You can have a hard week, a hard day, make it to the end of the day, finally lay your head on the pillow. This happens to me frequently. And I'll just have that experience of I made it. Now I know I have more to go tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow in the battle and have to fight all over again, but I made it today. I made it today. Tomorrow's not promised. Only people that stress on tomorrow too much are the ones that are so sure that tomorrow is gonna come. You spoiled brats. You don't know death. But you can also experience this joy of making it, if I made it, in each moment. It's linear. It's point A to point B. You made it from the last moment to this moment. I don't know if anybody's really getting where I'm going with this. It's food for thought. Thanks for watching.